How many of us believe that? Oh, it's all right if you don't, because by the end of today, I'm hoping that you will. That's my job. That's why we're here. To remind each other that there's only love. Doesn't matter, don't listen to the feedback of the world. There is only love. There is only perfection. There is only peace and power flowing through me right now, flowing in us right now, this moment. Do you guys remember a couple weeks ago during Mother's Day, I talked about Myrtle Fillmore? And she had an idea that came to her. In the middle of her struggle in life, she was diagnosed with tuberculosis. They said it was terminal. They gave her a few months to live, a few years at the most. And she heard a teacher tell her, he made a statement, a New Thought teacher, E.B. Weeks. And the statement was, I am a child of God, and as such, therefore, I do not inherit sickness. That idea lit a fire in her mind, and she began a life of affirming the truth, just like we were doing just now in that song. That's the truth. There is only love. Don't let yourself think that there's anything else. Be strong with yourself. You want to have courage, you want to have strength, these are the ideas to hold on to and have courage to express them in the world and demonstrate that there really is only love. That as a child of God, I do not inherit sickness. It's great because that statement that lit a fire in Myrtle Fillmore's mind also gave birth to a movement, a worldwide spiritual movement called unity. That's why we're here today, because somebody took that one idea and applied it in her life. And her husband said, what's happening? You're healed, you're whole. Something's going on. This is what's going on. This manner of prayer that I am performing in my own mind is having an effect, not only on me and my body, but everyone around me. And let's do it together. And the whole message today is that there is a healing power in affirmative prayer. Now, affirmative prayer includes the affirmation and the denial. The affirmation is, I am a child of God. The denial was, I do not inherit sickness. End of story. When everyone around here was getting the flu and having a cold and all of those things, I said, I am not going to do that. I do not have time for the flu. I do not have time to get sick. I have too much joy to be expressing in the world. That's just the way that goes. And I'm not judging anybody for whatever you seem to go through in life, but I'm saying in that moment, there's a decision. There's a decision that I can make. And even in the midst of reoccurring physical ailments, you can affirm the truth, because your soul is always going to take whatever is going on in that moment and apply it for good. I wanted to go dancing last night with you guys. I really did. My back was hurting so bad. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to stay home. I went for a walk on the beach instead, actually. And Lily and I did some mindful meditations on the beach. And I realized my soul wants me to be here on the beach. This is a beautiful day. And the sun was setting, and it was an incredible healing moment in my life. Brought me back to balance. And then I went home and said, oh yeah, I have to also write a sermon tomorrow. So my soul was saying, you don't have time to go dancing. You can do it. I was kind of trying to anyway. I tried a few moves. It didn't quite work out, so I stayed home and wrote the sermon instead. And I walked on the beach, and we did our meditation. So I'm not asking you to judge yourself for anything that you seem to go through in life, but I am asking you to look at the blessing beyond it, to say to yourself, God is present in this situation and in this circumstance. God is in the midst of this no matter what it looks like. That's what Patricia and I are saying. She's my prayer partner. And we have a lot of people to pray for, don't we?
Including ourselves.
Especially ourselves. We start with ourselves, and then we inevitably have others in our lives that we want to affirm the truth with. And it really works, whether they're present or not. Affirming the truth really, really works. We can experience how to unleash the power within us by affirming the truth. So I came up with a few affirmations yesterday. And the first one is, my mind is content to allow Spirit to work out the perfect solution for every problem or challenge in my life. Can we say that together? My mind is content to allow Spirit to work out the solution for every problem or challenge I face in my life. That's amazing. That really gives me freedom. That really helps me to have peace, to relax, to know that Spirit is guiding me. No matter what seems to be going on, there's a miracle in it for me. And so I'm on to, what's the miracle in this for me? What is the miracle? And it's not that we won't go through whatever we go through, but we'll go through it faster. We'll get to the miracle faster. And pretty soon, you'll start seeing life as one big series of miracles. One big series of blessing after blessing. I have confidence. So now that I am content, I have confidence that the power of God's grace is flowing in me and through me now. I am in the divine flow of healing energy. I bless the world with the light in me. And for those of you that don't go home and write affirmations for yourself, I really, really encourage you to do so. I highly recommend this practice because you're coming up with it yourself. You're not asking a teacher or a priest or a guru or anybody else. It's just for you. You're affirming the truth for yourself. It's very powerful. So let's say this one together. I have confidence that the power of God's grace is flowing in me and through me now. I am in the divine flow of healing energy, and I bless the world with the light in me. Nice. Charlie helped me with these slides. I like that. Grace is the bridge. See that? To get from one side to the other. God's grace is flowing in me and through me now. I love it. Since we're all one, I like to share these affirmations with others. And I also like when someone else offers me a nice affirmation, I'm going to steal it from you. I'm going to use it. I affirm today and every day that all I need to heal and be healed is within me right now. Let's say that one. I affirm today and every day that all I need to heal and be healed is within me now. Right now. In me. Everything I need. Everything. Everything you've ever been searching for. You found it. It's within you. It's in your own consciousness. Stop looking out there. You found it. The search is over, guys. There's nowhere to search anymore. It's within you. It's within you right now. The Spirit of the living God in me is present every moment of every day. There's no circumstance or situation where this power is not available to me. Let's say this one slowly because this is really a powerful one. The Spirit of the living God in me is present every moment of every day. There is no circumstance or situation where this power is not available to me. Isn't that great? So it starts with the affirmation and the denial. There's no circumstance where this power is not going to be in full effect if I let it, if I want it. because the Spirit of the living God is present each moment of every day. There's no circumstance or situation where God is not present. If God is everything, everywhere, all the time, all powerful, all knowing, where can God not be? Remember that when things are going well and when things are going not so well. We tend to forget it. When things are going well, we forget how we got there. And then when things don't go so well, we go, uh-oh, something out there caused this to happen. No, I got out of the flow that God is present. The Spirit of the living God is present in this situation. That's what is creating all the good in my life. We can't let the ego run away and think it's creating all the good, because it's going to create the opposite. There's one power and one present. It has no opposites. So I have one more. And it's this. I choose now to trust in the power of God in me to bring about the right and perfect healing and harmony at all times for every individual. Charlie picked a dollar bill or something for that one. In God we trust. Well, because I do trust in the power of God. And yes, for my finances as well. But what I'd like to do is trust that it will bring about the perfect healing and harmony. Harmony is really a healing activity, because all of the conflict I feel, the disharmony, that doesn't feel so good. So when there's disharmony in your body, that's sickness. When you're angry, where do you take it out? On yourself. It's always on yourself. The Course in Miracles says that sickness is anger taken out on your body. You've internalized it. So let's do this affirmation here. I choose now to trust in the power of God in me to bring about the right and perfect healing and harmony at all times for every individual. I love it. I love it. We're into a mindful practice. In my Unity studies this week in pastoral counseling, we studied mindfulness. And there's a really good tool in mindfulness, and it's wishing others well. It's taking the time to wish others well. I really want you to be happy. I really want you to be whole. I really want you to have joy in your life. I really want you to be in peace. And if you want to love your enemies like our way shower Jesus asked us to do, wish them well. Wish them well. Because the only one that reaction, an angry reaction, is affecting is me. When I'm getting angry at all the things that are going on out there, I'm just attacking myself. When I'm wishing you well, I'm also benefiting from that experience. I'm allowing Spirit to work out the perfect solution. So if I'm doing that, what's mine to do? Do I just sit around and do nothing? It never worked for me. I don't know about you. Oh, Spirit will take care of it. I'll sit around, have another beer. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work. Waiting for something to happen in the future always took me out of the present moment. So I wasn't able to enjoy this because I'm thinking it's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to happen. It's going to be better tomorrow. I'll be awake tomorrow. I'll be enlightened tomorrow. Tomorrow, everything's going to be okay. I don't know. What about today? What about right now? Everything is perfect right now. There is only love. I love that song. All right. So I love that story about the guy helping the woman, and he says, "Are you Jesus?" And I can hear the guy saying, "No, I'm the pilot." All those people that ran by, they're going to have to wait anyway. Sorry, folks, your plane has been delayed. The pilot is over being the Christ. That's a good one. Why not? You can stop and be the Christ each and any moment you choose. And I've got three phases of being the Christ. It has three aspects of your self-realization. The first one is always, where is God, right? You're looking all around for God. Finally, you're going to realize that God is in me. That's the first realization to being the Christ, is that God is in me. And the next thing that happens is that you develop a willingness to allow the fullness of God to flow through you. Just be willing to let that flow through you. I don't know what I should do in any moment until Spirit tells me. And then you know. Your heart tells you. You know exactly what to do, what to say, where to go, who to say it to. You know exactly what to do. You're not waiting around for someone else to do it. You're in the flow of the universe. You're in the flow of Spirit. So God is working through you. And the ultimate realization is that God is expressing itself as you. Was the last two words of that sentence. Didn't get in there. Sorry. God is expressing... I ruined the surprise. So it's a climb up these phases of being the Christ. You're climbing from the realization that God is in you. Come on. First He's in you, now what? You better start allowing it to flow through you, or you won't be able to express God as you. I'll be expressing something separate from myself. And I'll be in a battle, that constant battle with the universe. Instead of affirming the truth, what do? We fight with it. We're fighting with the truth. There's not only love, there's a lot of stuff going on around here. There's a lot of sickness and pain and war and hatred and racism and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't last, you guys. That's not real. That stuff is part of this dream that you're waking up from. And that you're teaching and demonstrating others that they can wake up from that dream too, and they don't have to act like that. Because finally you're just hurting yourself. And I've just realized over and over again in my life that I've always been hurting myself. That's the only way I know that it will change. It's if you demonstrate the exact and total opposite. And say, no, I'm not going to participate in that at all. I'm not condoning it, but I'm also not participating in it. I refuse to enter into a reactionary cause and effect situation. Because everyone's my mirror. You know that guy you don't like out there is already mirroring something you don't like about yourself? It's already a mirror. And if you get into a hall of mirrors, it never ends. It just reflects back and forth the same old illusion. No, I want to be as God created me. Is there good. I want to be as God created me, and I know I can. I know I can live as the Christ. And it's as simple as being kind. It's stopping by to pick up the woman's things that got spilled on the ground. It's much easier to work with Spirit than resisting my blessings by making myself too small to receive it. I can do the work. The work is clearing my heart, clearing my mind. It's a purification that takes place when I affirm the truth. It makes me a vessel. It makes us a vessel for the truth, for the abundance of God to flow through us and out to others. Remember in the Bible, in the old scripture, it says you can't put new wine into old wineskins? Because when you do, the wineskin breaks, it ruins the wineskin, and the wine spills all over the ground, and you don't have any wine. Or you put an old piece of cloth in a new garment and it just rips the new garment. It's not going to work. And it's the same with consciousness. I have to put the new ideas into a new person, into a new consciousness. I have to make myself ready to become the Christ that I am. You are already that within. That's the anointed, enlightened, perfected you. You're already that. But you're not in touch with it. You're not demonstrating it fully, perhaps, because you're trying to fit it all into this old thought system. It's too small. It's not big enough to let God in. I always heard this preacher, he was very inspiring to me, who said, make your ideas big enough so that God can get in there. If they're too small for him to work with, you'll be trying to do it yourself. I'll give you an example. There's a recognition that these new energies cannot be integrated into a severely closed down physical system. The Fillmores were vegetarians. They prayed constantly, day and night. They had their minds and their bodies working together day and night to receive the truth and express the truth. Myrtle Fillmore wrote letters to everyone who was writing to her. She would write back to them, affirming their good, affirming their truth. So there has to be some sort of recognition that it's a whole system happening here. That I can't block the light and expect to experience it. I can't block out that which is true in me and expect myself to be whole and perfect and free and experience that. So I start with affirming that I'm whole and perfect and free. I start with affirming that that's true. And then I deny the effects of anything in this world to take away that truth. Our only job is to make ourselves ready to receive. I don't care how you do it. I'm not saying you have to do anything specifically. But you'll know. You know what your heart is calling you to do. You know exactly, because within you, there's something telling you, I need to try this time, this week, now. I'm going to do it. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I've been wanting to meditate daily. I just haven't done it yet, right? And all of a sudden you say, okay, I'm going to do it. Today's the day I start doing it. I want to pray. I want to be in affirmative prayer. I want to do that Course in Miracles. I'm going to do it someday. All of a sudden you're here doing it. I'm going to learn those unity principles. I'm going to get there on Sunday and I'm going to learn those principles. Maybe I'll join a spiritual community. Maybe this is the day. Maybe this is the week, the year that I actually make my life spiritual. And if I've already done it, maybe this is the time I'm really going to step out and offer it to others. Last week, Lily and I weren't here for Adam's message because we were in Worcester. We're at Unity of Central Mass, who is in the transition period. They're without a minister, and they're wonderful people. And I love them in their transitional period because they're so open. They are so open. They know it's time for something to happen. They don't quite know exactly what needs to happen to make it all work, but they know it's going to happen. So they're just really open and receptive. I love it. We brought them the 21-day prosperity experiment. We did it as a workshop with them after the service. And they're going to be doing it along with us. We're going to start it again. We're going to start on June 11th. We're going to do it for 3 weeks. And it's a wonderful experiment, and it really works. And it works to the extent that you work it. If you really work it, it really works for you. And even if you just work it a little bit, it still works. And some of us didn't work it at all, and it worked. That's the miracle. That's the miracle of the truth of creation, is that it's in operation all the time. And I have to do very little, actually, because God is blessing me. The universe is constantly blessing me all the time. It's amazing. It's always in operation. It's always blessing me. But my message today is if I affirm that, and if I make that a constant affirmation in my mind, it's going to become my life. It's going to work all the time. It's going to work in situations that I thought it wouldn't work. Hey, guys. Great to see you. He's like me. I had to be here this morning. Where am I? What am I doing? That's what I say just before I stand up here to deliver the message. I know I have to be here. That's all. I just have to get in the door. Something beautiful happens. Good to see you, little man. There you go. What's your name?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo? What an awesome name. Awesome name. You're an awesome dude. I can tell you, you're an awesome guy already. Lorenzo. Do you do the bolt? No, he didn't know that. My mom was doing the bolt. We got a picture of my 87-year-old my mother. You know the bolt? The guy, the runner, he does the bolt. She's 87. She's doing it. She is on track. She doesn't care about all that stuff. What does she care about? Giving you the light, being with you in the light, loving you, taking care of you, just being here now. You know, these guys knocked on the door. You know those guys that knock on the door and they say, "Are you worried about the future? Have you accepted Jesus in your life? Have you found Jesus?" She'd say, "I'm too old to worry about the future. I'm here now." What do you want to talk about? Well, we want to talk about the future. Didn't work. Yeah, it's great. I got enough to worry about today. I love it. Where was I? I better wrap this up, you guys. I'm going on, but I wanted to tell you something really, really powerful about affirmative prayer. It changes everything. There was a time I used to run a healing circle, and we put a person in the middle, and we were praying for that person. And I was sitting there, and something came to me that said, "What do you want to say to us today? I know there's something on your mind to say to us." She jumped out of her chair, and she screamed, "I don't want to die!" We were all like shocked, you know, because most people are like channeling their guides, and "I want to say to you that your aura is a little cloudy today." And no, she's just, "I don't want to die." That was the most powerful prayer that anybody ever said, because it was a complete affirmation. I want to live. That's it. When she put all of her power into that one statement, it healed her body completely. She had just come from the doctor who had diagnosed her with cancer. He said, "I'm sorry, it's going to be terminal." The same thing they told Myrtle Fillmore. She didn't know anything about affirmations and denials, but she made the affirmation, "I don't want to die." She denied the power of death, the power of the disease, the power of the doctor. When she went back the next week to the doctor, they took new tests and they said, "Suddenly your cancer has gone into complete remission. You're going to have a full recovery." Now, how did that happen? Some call it a miracle. I call it the power of affirmation. I call it the power of your mind to decide. The same thing happened to me. I shouldn't be standing here today. I got in a terrible motorcycle crash not too many years ago, and it was in a state where you don't have to wear helmets, and I was going 70 miles an hour down the road, and there was this hairpin turn came up I forgot was there. And I just kept going straight. And I ended up on somebody's lawn. And actually what happened was, as I was going over the handlebars, something in me said, "I don't want to die." Same thing that lady said. "I'm going to live." Actually, I didn't say, I don't want to die. I said, "I'm going to live." Like that. It was an affirmation. I'm going to live. I didn't know what was going to happen. What happened was completely miraculous because I don't remember going under the bike, but I do remember standing on the street, looking at the bike all crumpled, saying, "Where is he? He should be under there somewhere." I thought I was going to be underneath it. Nothing happened to me at all. I have no clue, because it was a miracle, I have no clue how I got from going over the handlebars to standing upright with absolutely not a scratch on me. And that bike was totaled. It was my friend's bike, and that was the biggest miracle, that I escaped him afterwards. He hadn't even paid his first payment. And I've witnessed so many of those same kind of miracles through the power of thought applied to focused intention, connected to the deepest primal emotion within you. And if we can do that on a daily basis, in far less extreme circumstances, we're going to be okay. We all do affirmations, guys. We all go, "It's going to be all right. You're going to be okay. Don't worry, things will work out." We're doing that all the time. But, those are like the emergency ones. It's going to be okay. You'll be all right. Don't worry. There's a whole nother, once you get past that level, there's a whole nother level of the ones we just did. That God is in operation in every circumstance and every situation in my life. And if I let it be, it's going to be perfect for me each and every moment of every day. And now I will be able to extend that healing to others. And that's what I really want to do, is extend that healing to others. And I hope that's what you want to do too. Because that way we can create a spiritual community of light, of vibration that's occurring constantly. And it doesn't matter here at Unity what your tradition is or what your expertise is. It's all welcome. We bring it all together and somehow miraculously it works. And we have things going on all the time. And we welcome everyone here. And we're not saying that we have the answer for you. We're saying you have the answer for you. And if you affirm that, you'll be experiencing that on a more consistent basis. The answers are within you. That you are the holy, perfect child of a living God. And I'm so grateful to be here, one with you, in your presence this morning. Thank you so much for listening today. We love you so much. Keep coming back. It works. It's like the 12 steps. Just remember, it's a journey. It's a climb.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.